Okay, hi guys, how you doing? It's been a while. I have been in YouTube jail since I did my last live stream that they gave me a strike for and took it down. So I don't know why does it why does it happen to me and it doesn't happen to other people talking about the same subject, which I'm not going to say what it is, but some of you might know, but I'm not going to say it. But anyway, I was thinking about how people treat me when I'm trying to help them in the capacity that I do the best as like a therapist. I mean, I've done it professionally in a lot of different settings, like one on one, and I used to even I ran a couple different group therapies for women, a separate one for women that were like battered women, and also I did group therapy for um, people that were coming out of rehab. So I used my experience to help other people to get through their journey going through um, whatever addiction they had. And so I'm kind of am like a specialist. I don't like to use that word, but I mean I'm just saying I had a lot of different avenues I went down into the whole um, therapy. I don't even know what word to use there, and I help people to heal. I don't call myself a healer, but I do help people to heal themselves. They have to want it, so it's ultimately down to them to do it. But anyway, I was thinking how I always get to be the bad guy because just by being totally honest with people, they get their buttons pushed. And even when I don't mean to do it, I just because I naturally tell the truth all the time, I don't lie to people. Um, I don't go along to get along if I'm going to be, denying myself or, sell myself out or sell myself short. I'm just really honest like that. I just am so, like, I have people tell me that I'm the most straightforward person they've ever met. And just in regular conversation, not even in a therapeutic setting. But, so anyway, what happens is the person, whoever the person is, I mean, it could be a client or patient, whatever you want to call them, but even just friends or even just casual acquaintances, wherever, just talking to people, they get triggered and then it becomes me that's the problem. They want to project all their shit onto me and it doesn't feel good. I'll tell you that, I know it not to take it personally, but it still doesn't feel good. It's like a heavy weight, like a dark energy coming from them that they're like casting out and like directing it at me. I mean, I've helped people who would take, like days, weeks, months, even years that and came back to me and thanked me for how I helped them back months or however long ago it was. And they even said they hated me at the time, but they realized that everything I said was true and they just couldn't handle it. They were like ashamed or guilty. How people, go through a whole myriad of feelings, emotions when you're getting clean, coming off of any kind of substances. I mean, just could be anything, even food. But they're they just tend to cast out all their shit onto me, as I'm speaking for myself right now. But sometimes it takes a while, and a lot of times when it happens within a friendship, it kind of breaks my heart that, just me being honest and saying whatever. I mean, I don't just go up and say mean things to people. I'm not saying that, but just, I don't know. And it's just that people tend to feel guilty about the shit that they're doing, and don't want to accept responsibility for, so they kind of redirect it. And I get to be that target a lot of the times. So, and I only do it because I care. I mean, I care enough to be honest with people about whatever it is. I mean, um, just in normal interactions. But I just, I don't know. I had a friend ask me to say something to somebody that if I said what she wanted me to say to her, I would have been lying. And I said, I'm not going to lie. You know, because it was a sort of some kind of awkward situation. I don't know. And so the person felt slighted or something. And so I guess she felt like it was putting a wedge between the three of us. And she wanted me to make it all right. But to make it all right the way she thought, I would have had to lie. And I just said, I can't lie. I'm not going to lie. But I did say something nice to her, which did break the ice. And she was glad that I said something. But it wasn't a lie. It wasn't what my other friend wanted me to say. So, I mean, I was able to say something that addressed it and helped dissipate the whole energy around it. So, I don't know. I'm just lately I've been really aware of, you know, a lot of things going on with me, and emotionally, psychologically, and you know, just every which way, intellectually, or just there's so much stuff happening right now. It's kind of surreal when you're aware of it. And sometimes, you know, knowledge and, you know, the truth can be overwhelming. And sometimes I think some of my abilities are curses as much as they are gifts sometimes. I mean, not all the time, but on occasion, it just feels that way, because a lot of things are seems like getting weaponized, you know, flipped around towards us, or I don't know. I'm just very aware of kind of the things that are happening, and there's so much happening I don't even know how to convey it. And for the most part, most people don't want to hear what I have to say. But I do have a lot to say, and that's why I'm getting these attacks and these different, you know, things happen to me. I'm considered targeted, and if I'm on terrorist lists and who knows what else, you know, just all kind of things. I'm getting all these things popping up on YouTube telling me, you know, I have to have a timeout for 24 hours because I'm a bad girl, because I said something that, you know, how they can screw it as me doing hate speech. Like, I'm the most caringest person in the world. I over care for people, and overshare and everything. So, I mean, that's something I need to back off of yet to get accused of hating anybody. I don't hate anybody, even any of the abusers I've had in my life, and I've had quite a few of them, and I don't have hatred for anybody. So, you know, for them to say that is not too cool, but I get, you know, I'm sure it's happening to a lot of people right now. But, you know, and then plus the fact that I had such a hard time to get a live stream up for almost like a month. I didn't get to do a live stream, and then when I do the live stream, they give me a strike and take it down. So, and just all these other things that, you know, point to targeting and gaslighting and all that kind of shit that's happening, I guess. But I have to try to not, you know, go into any kind of depression or anything like that. So I'm just kind of voicing it just to get it out and get rid of it. I encourage people to, you know, acknowledge your negative feelings, but don't hang on to them, because that hurts you to do that to yourself. So, you know, yeah, say you're mad or whatever. I don't know. I've noticed how a lot of people took some kind of anger download or something. Everybody's saying, you know, the same verbiage I hear going around a lot. Like, so many people in comments are saying, I'm so pissed off. My blood is boiling, and all these really negative, just angry things. And man, I just think feeding the loosh bags with that kind of, if they keep it up and constantly, but I just see it so much. Like, it's like sometimes, I used to enjoy going into the comments and reading them and stuff, but sometimes it's like, wow, I can see what's happening. I could see the spell, like right in front of me, that people aren't backed up far enough to see. And if most people are super polluted with toxins and everything. Like when I go to a stupid market and I'm in line and I look at the people in front of me putting their stuff there, like every single thing that they're buying is something I would not allow myself. I just know that it's toxic, and I know, and it's like that's their whole order. Not one thing in their whole order of, say, like 20 things, not one thing would I eat. That's how, like, I've gotten that far away from all the toxic food and substances, even supplements. I don't trust the supplements because they are made by the pharmaceutical company. So I mean, if you want to take, I just think it's a big waste of money. If you do the salt thing, like I do that salt thing, and I know that it's helped me. I was just feeling my skin, how nice and soft and smooth and dewy it feels from doing the plasma every day. Like I go through a gallon of water a day, and I am 5'6" and about 130 something. I don't know. I'm in the 130 somewhere. And so just to give you an idea of that, I'm going to do strictly a video just for the measurements, and you could do it by your weight, because people just given a universal, just one size fits all solution. You need to work out your own thing. I mean, it's a simple formula, to do, to figure out how much salt to put in the water to get the maximum effect from it. So I'm going to, I just got some measuring spoons so I can make it more clear so people can see that, because there was some confusion with people who are in other parts of the world who's not on the same like system we're on. Their teaspoons are different than ours, or they're using actual like silverware, like tableware, to measure, calling it a teaspoon or a tablespoon, like because it goes on the table. But I'm talking about specific exact measurements where you could measure it with the teaspoons, or you can measure it on a gram scale. So it's, I'm pretty sure, like 6 grams per teaspoon of salt. And it will vary a little bit depending on, like if you're using a teaspoon of coarse salt, it's going to weigh different than if it's fine salt. There'll be like more grains of salt in the fine salt because it shifts down and it fits more compactly, where the other crystals are bigger. And I buy different types. I get the coarse kind because I really like those, especially when one gets like caught on my lip or my tongue, and I just get that burst of salt. Man, that tastes so good. I love it. And then there's the really super fine kind, and then there's like in the middle kind. I myself won't use, I don't trust the Himalayan salt. I get the feeling it's corrupted somehow, like they're dyeing it or something pink and selling some crap salt as, I don't know. They fake so much stuff anymore. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. I just don't trust it. If you know you have a good source, go for it. And I know there's some controversy about the Celtic sea salt, the Celtic brand sea salt that I always like to use. But I don't know if it's how true it is, if it's something that's put out there to make us not want to use it, by saying that there's iron in it, like higher doses of iron. So I don't know how true that is, if it's just something out there to deter me from using the salt, which I haven't been. I mean, I'm still doing it. So So yeah, that's like clean, clearing out my pores and everything, and also these like brown sunspot, liver spots, whatever they are, all on my hand, that actually just came out in the last couple years. Well, actually, a couple, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know how far back, because I didn't have it, and then all of a sudden I started noticing I have it. But now that I've been doing the plasma, that those are going away, so that all those little brown spots are just disappearing. I mean, they're still there, but they're getting fainter and fainter all the time. So I can tell it's pushed. And lucky for me, the way I ate for most of my life and the things I did intuitively, I don't have arthritis like most people my age. Like their fingers or whatever are all like knotty and crippled up and everything, and mine are still like pretty straight and good. So I know I'm doing something right. Plus, I'm outliving all my siblings. I think there's one left, my youngest sister, and there were 8 in our family. So out of 7, I was older than them all, and they're all gone. So I'm doing something right. That I lost, my whole family is dead, and I'm still here. And I'm talking about all these ones that were younger than me too. So anyway, I don't know. I have a lot of experience, and I also was in the healing arts for over 50 years. So, and I do have a teacher's license in that YouTube. I am allowed to talk about that. It's not medical misinformation. If I've learned through the schooling system, and I have a degree. I'm certified as a teacher and a hairstylist and an esthetician, massage therapist, and manicurist, and makeup artist. All those things are covered, and I can manage hair salons, which I ended up doing. That's the main reason I got the teacher's license, so I could do everything, and that included managing salons, which I did across the country: Pittsburgh, Phoenix, Southern California, Corona Del Mar, and Newport Beach, which is the elite part of Newport Beach, which is already pretty elite. So I had my own hair salon on Pacific Coast Highway. So I'm very proud of what I did in my career, and as in helping people mostly, because I almost ended up doing electrical engineering for Westinghouse, which is Tesla, and so they paid my way through college. I didn't finish it though, because my heart wasn't in it, and thank God I knew better to get out of there, and my intuition paid off, and I didn't know about Tesla or none of it. They did not teach Tesla back in the 60s and 70s, or before that. They didn't start teaching Tesla, I don't think, until maybe the 80s. I can't find it yet, how, to find out how far back it went. He was not always in the books. Edison was in the books, but not Tesla. So then all of a sudden Tesla pops up, and all of a sudden he's this great guy. Not saying that he's not. I mean, I don't know how personally, if he even really existed, I don't know, but assume that he did. And the things that they say about him, because they're always making up these backstories for who knows, whatever. And so I think that he was somebody they used for his intelligence, I'm sure, but like they already had the tech and they just need a person to pin it on. I think that's the same with William Shakespeare. Like, I don't know, there's some kind of association there maybe with Sir Francis Bacon, like maybe he did the writing or something, and like William Shakespeare's like a pen name or something. I don't know. I just think all these things existed, and they just need like a real person to credit it to. Just like I think, they did with the Beatles, with their music. They didn't read or write music. That's on tape. I heard them saying that in an old, like, vintage looking tape that was I don't know, maybe it's still on the internet, but I saw it a couple times. And Mike over at Sage Aquay, he does all that breakdown of the whole Tavistock and the Beatles, the whole mind control and all the, the big psyop that it was. Those, they did not, they probably did maybe the early music, like She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, how simple is that? And then before you know it, they got these symphonies coming out, and like, and they admitted on tape that they don't know how to read and write, and they used other studio musicians when they cut their albums and stuff. So you're not really listening to like the same whoever you think you're listening to all the time. So, I mean, they slipped in a few, and George Harrison did some, I think. But all this Lennon and McCartney praise for them writing all this music, they didn't do it. So maybe I should end this. I didn't mean to go this long. Said I was going to do 9-minute ones, but I'm not even paying attention to the time. So I hope everyone's feeling well and doing, happy and joyful, and, stay smiling as much as you can, and try to laugh whenever you get an opportunity to do so. Take advantage of that. Starve the douchebags.